Hello everyone, and welcome back to again another episode of Coffee and Crypto with me, Don. Thank you so much for tuning in for today's video. If you are watching this live, good morning, happy Thursday, and if you're watching it back on the channel, hello for whatever day it is, and hope you're all having a great day so far. So first things first, we do have a bit of news today to get through. Of course, as ever, there is loads happening in the crypto market. News is a little bit light this morning, I'll be honest. There seems to have been a large focus this week on the June 13th and June 14th kind of dates in the calendar, with the FOMC meeting happening yesterday, which again, they've paused rates, which we covered yesterday to our members. But also throughout the week, it was a big bit of a hype at the start of the week, and now we've seen a little bit of a price decline hype in the market. So completely normal behaviour. It's nothing we haven't seen before or anything that we're worried about. But I will get into the prices just in a sec, and we'll have a look to see how things are looking since yesterday's video. Now, in terms of the top 10 then, we have seen, like I said, a bit of a decline in price. Last night, about 7 p.m, 8 p.m, Ethereum really was leading the way on the dip. Currently then, prices, like I said, not looking the best overall, but Bitcoin's currently sitting at 24,900. We then have Ethereum at $1,636, which is, yeah, it's, well, saying that, it's down over 6% now, but last night it was kind of not looking as great. BNB down at $236, XRP at 47 cents, Cardano 25 cents, and then Dogecoin at 0.06. Tron, again, I don't know why Tron is still kicking about here, currently sitting at 0.07, and then Solana at $14.80. Now, yeah, it's not looking good, bruv, as we like to say on the channel. If you are, again, short-term mindset that is, and you're looking at what's happened the past 24 hours, most things have pulled down. I mean, even Tether, which there is a bit of kind of Tether FUD out there, so a bit of fear, uncertainty and doubt on Tether being spread, which again is not anything we haven't seen before. There's always been some negative news and FUD being spread about Tether at certain points throughout the year, throughout the market. Yeah, I mean, it's always been a worry, but it never seems to have failed as yet. So let's just take the kind of fear as it comes, and we'll look to the future and see what actually happens with USDT. But yeah, most of the market then, or at least the top 10, is down around kind of 3, 4, some 6% over the past 24 hours, which is obviously not easy to look at when you wake up on a fine Thursday morning. However, it's something that you can't kind of put to the side, and you need to expect these things in bear markets. We talk about it all the time, sound like a broken record, but summertime sadness is a thing in crypto. In summer, for whatever reason, it really does get choppy and a bit, well, like this in summer. And then in the winter time, it starts to pick back up and people forget about the kind of what happened 6 months prior. So wouldn't worry too much in the sense of the prices are down at the moment. It's June, it's sunny outside. Take this time to spend a little bit more time outside and off your phone, burning your eyes out from the rays from your phone, and yeah, get them burnt out with some vitamin D. But anyway, that's the prices. It's not all great short term, but again, we don't care too much about the short term, so it's just a kind of update that I wanted to kind of bring you and let you know. One thing as well, you'll see for whatever reason, Pepe is still trending and it's still down quite a large percentage. But anyway, we'll move on to some bigger and better news. So first things first then, so if you have been watching, and hopefully you have, these Coffee and Crypto episodes of the past week, well, past few months I guess at this point, I have been speaking a lot about China, especially Hong Kong in particular, because we have a track record in crypto of China not being accepted or liked or promoted, Bitcoin being promoted in China. But the past few weeks, we've really seen a ramp up in the media, positive media in China, especially in Hong Kong, where they are accepting crypto, they are pro-Bitcoin, and it's all a bit strange. My personal opinion, and what I've been kind of sharing the past few weeks, is I do strongly believe that it was part of China's plan. I don't know when they've planned it. I don't know how long they've sat on this, but I did and do believe it was part of China's plan to watch the US fall, essentially, because the relationship nowadays between China and the US isn't as powerful or as great as it used to be 4 or 5 years ago when someone else was in charge of the country. But now what we're seeing is the US dollar is a bit of a meme at the moment. It's a bit of a meme coin. More and more places around the world, Russia, China, are kind of not happy with using the US dollar, and they want to use their own dollar. So the US is kind of losing its peg in the sense of it's not as big and as powerful as it used to be. And I personally blame that down to who's in charge and who's running the governments and the kind of words that they're spreading and just the way the general... I mean, look, America and all countries, they're all a business, right? Like most things in the world, the sooner you realise that everything in the world is a business of some sort, whether it's a government, whether it's Sainsbury's, whether it's Starbucks or a coffee shop, everything's a business, and what comes out of business, it's money and power. That's essentially the two aspects of business. And China are also a business. They're a big trade business. They trade with all of the world. Pretty much anything you look at these days, pick up anything that's around you, find out where it was made. 9 times out of 10 it was made in China. So it's a big, big business. Now, America realises that. They're obviously a mass kind of user or adopter, shall we say, of products made in China. There's been reports the past few years of obviously a bit of a clash in the sense of the prices being charged and import, export, blah, 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 blah. So there's been a bit of a head bashing moment, shall we say. I'm trying to pick my words wisely here, where China and America haven't seen eye to eye. They've almost become enemies as such. And now what we're seeing, I'll try and relate this back to crypto. I went a little bit kind of left there, but what we're now seeing is the US is failing with crypto and fintech in general, and China realises that. China realises that there's a lot of potential for crypto and blockchain and financial technology. They're now stepping in and deciding, do you know what? Well, if America won't help you or won't welcome you in the digital world, come to China, come to Hong Kong. We're one of the biggest and most powerful countries in the world. Why would you not come here? And they're now starting to, as you can see from the headline, Hong Kong government pressures banking giants to accept crypto for their clients. They're literally pressuring banks now to accept crypto, which is a total 360 from what they used to do and say. So, the Hong Kong Monetary Authority, which serves as the region's central bank as a regulator, has reportedly put pressure on major banks, including HSBC and Standard Chartered, to accept crypto exchanges as clients. According to a June 15th report from the Financial Times, which cited 3 sources familiar with the matter, the HKMA questioned the UK-based firms as well as a Bank of China in a May meeting, asking the institutions why they weren't talking about crypto exchanges, why they weren't taking on cryptocurrency exchanges as clients. Now, less than a month before April 27th, the HKMA issued a circular to banking institutions urging them to pay attention to the new market developments and encouraging them to adopt a more ambitious approach to new sectors such as the crypto market. Now, in a document, Hong Kong's central bank specifically required the institutions to help crypto firms, which it calls virtual asset service providers, in getting access to banking services. So here we go, here's a letter here. Again, just confirming what I've literally just covered, which again, to me, I've been in crypto since 2017, been here, seen it all. I've lived through all of the China fear that they've put out over the years. So even to me, this is like, it's not mind-blowing as such, but it's a shock to the system because it's a total opposite of what I'm used to and what I've experienced over the years. But I'm obviously bullish on it. I'm happy to see it, but yeah, it's taking a bit to kind of adapt to the fact that China are now kind of pushing banks into accepting crypto exchanges, which is crazy. So according to the source familiar with the contents of last month's meeting, the HKMA encouraged the banks to not be afraid. The source added that there is opposition to taking on crypto clients. So, yeah, again, need I say more? China is trying to step in. They're trying to pressure banks to now accept crypto exchanges as clients, which is fantastic to see. And it just goes to show you that crypto is not going away. Crypto is not dying. It's not going to zero. It's not being banned. Whatever nonsense that you've seen the past few weeks, especially coming from America, because the SEC is run by a crook. He doesn't know what he's doing. He's in a bit kind of no man's land as such. So, yeah, just because the US is having regulatory issues, probably because of who's in charge and who's behind that, which actually I have a tweet I want to show you at the end of today's video. So, of course, make sure you stay tuned for the whole video to see that tweet. But it's related to kind of Gary Gensler and his job title and his job role and how he got the job and stuff. So it's quite an interesting kind of tweet I want to read through. But so America, just because America is having these issues with clarity and it's suing companies left, right, and centre, doesn't mean that crypto's been banned. It's just America, as I said before, it's a big, large powerhouse. It has one of the kind of largest percentage users of crypto in the world. So anything that gets put out about crypto, it's going to gain traction, it's going to spread across the world, and it's going to get people in the head thinking, is it kind of, should I be stepping away from this crypto thing? Is it maybe not the right step? Is it maybe I need to move elsewhere? Whatever it may be, it gets people then looking at other asset classes to potentially follow up in, to then go waste your time. Well, that's not to say waste your time. You can still spend time in other asset classes like property, stocks, whatever it may be. But if you've been in crypto for a few years, you've got a bit of experience, you then think, it's not looking so good. America are telling me that it's not getting accepted. If you then get that in your head and you think, right, I'm going to jump ship, I'm going to learn about property now, you're then starting again at ground zero in an asset class that needs a lot more capital to start, a lot more experience, a lot more connections, a larger network, and a more hands-on approach. Don't get me wrong, I'm just picking property out of all of them, but other asset classes are great. But the point I'm trying to make here is, if you have been in crypto, even if you've been in crypto for a year, you've got a good year's experience of what a bear market's like, which is one of the toughest times. You've managed to stick around this far. So why would you now, of all times, decide that it's getting too much, can't handle it, I'm going to try something else, and just chop and change? Because I can guarantee you in a year and a half's time, you're going to come back to crypto. You'd have missed out. You've took a gap year, they say. You've taken a year out, or whatever it is, of learning, of potential experience, to go try and chase something else, gain new knowledge in that class. Then when the crypto market's back up and you realise that the media is telling you that it's not a scam, or it's not going to zero, or whatever news it's kind of you're letting into your head, when you realise that in a year's time or a year and a half's time, and you kind of come back to crypto thinking, oh, I have been in crypto for 2 years. Well, you've not, because you took the kind of the wrong turn, shall we say, and got out. So yeah, anyway, the point I'm trying to make here, right, is a little bit off topic and a little bit of a tangent, but the point I'm trying to make here is you need to stick around when times get tough. You can't run for the hills. You can't put your phone in your pocket and carry on that it's not happening. You need to embrace the fact that crypto is a volatile asset class. It's the whole point and why we love it so much. High risk, high reward. It's a crazy space to be involved in. There's potential to make like crazy money, of course, if you're smart enough. And look, don't get me wrong, I can't base the next bull market on what's happened previously, but if you are to base it on history, it has done better and better each time. Again, nothing that I'm saying here is any type of advice. I'm not telling you to go invest in crypto or do anything regarding investment. All I'm saying is, if you're in the crypto space, you're learning about it, you've been in it for a year, 6 months, whatever it may be, don't let the fear creep in and then jump ship to something else and then come back in a year's time thinking, oh, the prices are up now, so actually I'm more interested. Because I mean, don't get me wrong, you'll still potentially kind of take your kind of crypto career further, but I can guarantee you, if you just grilled through these hard times, when the good times do come, it will feel so much better. And the reason I say that is because I've done it. I've been there, I've done it. I've sat through longer, worse bear markets than we're in at the moment. Came out the other end, enjoyed the 2021 bull market, and I'm just kind of preparing for the next one. So yeah. Anyway, that came out of nowhere. Don't know what just happened there, but hopefully you listened, hopefully you understood it, and you take it on board, because it will help. Trust me, if you learn, if you listen to what I'm saying and even rewind it back and watch it, let it hit home, because it's only going to help you with your mindset and moving forward. Oh, wow. What happened there, eh? Right, let me get a coffee, sip. That all started from talking about Hong Kong adopting crypto. Honestly, this is why you should be tuning in to these episodes, because there's rants to be had, and a lot of it will make sense at some point to someone. So let's move on to the next topic of today's video, shall we? So this one is a special shout out to all my ARB holders, which I don't think any of you actually hold it. But anyway, obviously, if you followed the channel, you know Deck has spoke about Arbitrum quite a lot since its airdrop that it had a couple of months ago. And well, yeah, he's made his points very valid. And yeah, I wanted to give a special shout out to anyone who has been following that saga that Deck has been bringing, because yeah, I'm not a huge fan of it. I haven't followed it too closely because it doesn't bother me at all, this project. I kind of thought what it is kind of what it's becoming. So I haven't spent a lot of time with it. But this article is particularly interesting because it has been really, really hyped. The hype's maybe dying down a little bit now, but it was hyped for a long time after its airdrop. So the on-chain analytics firm Nansen has released a new report detailing what happened to the Arbitrum network after its popular airdrop event. From sustaining the surge of users and transactions to a decline in new wallets conducting their first transaction, the analytics company analysed the impact of the airdrop on the chain's ecosystem. On March 23rd, the Arbitrum Foundation airdropped its new token to eligible community members, and according to the organisation, the Arbitrum tokens were marked its shift into the decentralised autonomous organisation, which is obviously known as a DAO. More than 2 months after the airdrop, Nansen analysed the blockchain's performance and various metrics on-chain. Within a new report, the analytics company highlighted that the influx of chain activities had been sustained. And according to the Nansen's data, transaction and daily users remained at historically high levels even after the airdrop. Now, in addition, the data also showed an upward trend in the increase in gas spending on the Arbitrum, and showcasing growth in the chain's usage. The value of transactions and transfers also exhibited similar patterns. So, is it actually doing well? Is it worth the hype? Because this was one of the most, I would say, overhyped projects, but it was one of the most hyped up projects we'd seen in quite some time. And I guess the reason being is there was a huge airdrop. Essentially, airdrops are free, we all know that. So you were getting free money or free tokens. So that's why it was so hyped up. Now, while many metrics show significant growth for the ecosystem, the number of wallets making their first transaction slowly declined after the airdrop, naturally. This suggests that the number of new users coming in has dropped since the popular event. So, despite this, the Arbitrum network was able to retain a significant share of bridging volume from Ethereum, and data showed that this gross volume of Ethereum bridging to our Arbitrum has stayed strong after the airdrop, with Arbitrum keeping the second largest spot just after Polygon. So the Arbitrum airdrop was one of the most hyped crypto events in the first half of 2023, and it sparked the start of an airdrop season and allowed some airdrop hunters to collect tokens and consolidate assets worth up to $3.3 million into 2 wallets. So bit of a mixed bag, a bit of a mixed kind of opinion and review on ARB. Again, haven't really bothered or following it with myself because it was so overhyped at the time. But technically, it's still kind of holding up. It's not. It's declined in some aspects. Of course, it's declined in first transactions after the airdrop because people don't really care too much about the project. They really cared about getting free tokens and free money. So the first transactions were obviously going to be super, super popular at the start. They have started to decline since then. And anyone still holding or having to use the Arbitrum network for the tokens or the the tokens they received are essentially, in my opinion, keeping the kind of usage alive. Obviously, people are switching from Ethereum to Arbitrum as well, and that could just be because it is popular, whatever it may be. So, technically speaking, from an unbiased kind of view on this, Arbitrum is still holding up, I guess. The trend is obviously starting to kind of slow up a little bit and calm down naturally after the airdrop. But yeah, technically it's still holding where they planned it, I guess. But anyway, I just wanted to update you because there has been a lot of hype around this, and I would say overhype. But yeah, it's starting to kind of decline slightly. That could be due to many factors. But anyway, you may have heard about ARB. Well, you should have at this point because it was so hyped. But it's still, I guess, it's still around. So that's positive for the project. Again, I don't really care too much for it, but I'm sure someone watching this will have used it, or potentially you got an airdrop from ARB for free, therefore you love the project because they gave you free money. Let me know in the comments, did you get involved in the ARB airdrop? I certainly didn't, and yeah, let me know below. So, next then, some more Ripple news, bit different, not about the lawsuit in particular. Well, it creeps in a little bit throughout this article, as always, it gets the clicks, but Ripple welcomes the MiCA regulation as the US lawsuit highlights lack of clarity. So, in a wide-ranging interview with Cointelegraph at Money 2020 in Amsterdam, Sandy Young, Ripple's managing director for the Europe and the UK, unpacked the firm's growing remit worldwide, despite ongoing regulatory scrutiny in the US. Now, cryptocurrency exchanges and businesses have clashed with the US regulators over the past year, with a lack of regulatory clarity threatening a stifle innovation and adoption of blockchain-based services, systems and cryptocurrencies. Meanwhile, in Europe, the European Union is well on its way to instituting a set of requirements and standards for the cryptocurrency industry across the continent after long-awaited markets in crypto assets, which is MiCA, legislation which was signed into law on May 31st. The divergence of regulatory perspectives in the US and Europe is wide, Young told the Cointelegraph, highlighting Ripple's business growth outside of the US. Again, something I've been covering quite a lot recently with companies growing outside of the US, hence why I think the US is in decline and they're not doing themselves any favour, which is in part due to the progressive regulatory oversight in different markets. So, quoted here then, the lawsuit is very isolated to the US regulations or the lack of clarity and certainty thereof. It almost accentuates the kind of environment that we have in Europe and the UK. Young added that Ripple continues to foster private-public partnerships and open dialogue with regulators and policymakers, with both parties educating each other as the industry develops. Now, again, another quote here, it says, "It does not enable business to grow and innovation to happen." I would say that we're very fortunate of this sort in the UK, the Europe environment, which is setting standards globally. So, essentially, the main points to take from this, again, is something that I've been battering on about for weeks and weeks and weeks, that the UK and Europe and the rest of the world are continuing as normal, so it's BAU as normal for cryptocurrency, blockchain, Web3, whatever it may be across the globe, other than America. Just because America aren't looking to accept their fate, I guess, doesn't mean that crypto's dying or it's going anywhere. And it's the reason I literally turn up here every single morning to bring you news and bring you updates and tell you how it is with crypto, because I know I see through all of this nonsense that's going on in America, and I see the light at the end of the tunnel, and I've experienced it all before, and I'm trying to share that experience with you. So again, here we go, another great reason to not shy away from learning about crypto, because it's shaping the future of finance. Okay, for those that have stuck around for the full video, as I mentioned earlier on in today's video, I wanted to finish off on this. Now, it's something, again, I've spoken about, but I really wanted to show you this tweet because I love the way it's laid out and a kind of like little timeline, shall we say. So, first things first, then, October 20th, 2020, SPF, so again, the guy behind FTX, donates $5 million to the Biden-Harris campaign, making him the second largest donor. February 3rd, 2021, Joe Biden appoints Gary Gensler as the chair of the SEC. His duties include protecting investors from fraud and abuse, ensuring that markets are fair. Pretty straightforward role. Then in May 10th, 2023, the SBF, FTX founder, and Gary Gensler meet in person to discuss crypto regulation. Marks the first time that the SEC chair has met with a major cryptocurrency exchange CEO. Anyone starting to get the red flags? Anyone? November 11th, 2022. Also, I think, just to go back on that, that's supposed to be 2022, by the way. November 11th, 2022, FTX files for bankruptcy, leaving customers without access to millions. The market loses billions in the aftermath, labelled one of the worst frauds in history. And then in June of this year, the SEC attacks sound businesses who have been attempting to work with regulators for over a decade, Coinbase and Kraken. So it's funny how this is all played out then. So 2020, SPF donates all this money, and he's the largest donor to the Biden campaign. Biden then wins the election. Again, if you're listening to this, I have my quote fingers there in case you're wondering why I went silent for a sec. So Biden wins the election. He then elects Gary Gensler, who we all know and love now as being the biggest kind of idiot in the space of the SEC. He puts him in charge to protect investors from fraud and abuse. Then Gary Gensler meets FTX or SBF, whatever you want to name him, in May of 2022. The first time it's ever happened, he meets Gary Gensler to discuss whatever they discussed. I don't know what they discussed, but whatever they discussed. Fast forward a few months to November of that year, boom, FTX files for bankruptcy, the biggest fraud in history, loses investors millions of dollars. It wipes out billions from the market of crypto, and yeah, it goes down in history as the worst kind of exchange ever, essentially. And then fast forward again some more months, and the SEC decides to sue Coinbase and Kraken, who are the ones that are legit. They've been trying to help protect investors. They've been trying to get regulation for years, and the SEC comes after them. So look, bit of a red flag, bit of a kind of weird one. Also, why does Biden look like he's about to cry in this photo? Anyway, a lot. I've said it a lot. I've spoken about it a lot. It's my opinion that matters most in this, I would say. But let me know below. What do you think about this? Is it a red flag for you? Should it have been a red flag sooner? Should we have seen this sooner and known that it was about to happen and about to unfold? Let me know what your thoughts are below. Anyway, that's all for today's video. Thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of Coffee and Crypto. My name's Don. It's been a pleasure again bringing another great video to you this morning. It was tough to find some news, I won't lie. There seems to have, kind of like I said at the start of today's video, seems to be not a lot of kind of news out there that they want to cover other than the prices dumping, but I like to kind of give you more than that. So anyway, hopefully you've enjoyed this episode. There's been lots covered and a lot of kind of mindset stuff as well. So go back and watch it, rewatch it again, and share this video with someone that you know, or even find that clip just after I spoke about Hong Kong at the start of the video. Go try and clip that and send it to someone that needs to fix their mindset, someone that needs a little stern talking to, and they need to hear it directly from someone like me. Tell them to come and watch, or at least send it to them and say, look, pay attention, spend 5 minutes watching this. And yeah, if you do, let me know if you share it, let me know who you tell, and yeah, you're only going to help people. Well, it's not helping yourself as well, obviously that's the whole point. I'm trying to help you, but you can then share the word, help other people get involved in crypto and understand the real usage and utility behind this whole crazy world that we call crypto. Anyway, if you want more from me or from my team, drop below in the description. You'll see all the links you need from our Discord, which you can see on your screen, as well as any links to exchanges and apps that we personally use in crypto. So yeah, check it out in the description below. I'll leave you there. Please like today's video, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you again tomorrow for another episode of Coffee and Crypto.